Nike tone. They ain't got no job, need someone to take her home. I hop up in the car, whip like Indiana Jones. Going George Lucas, now I'm out here killing clones. Coming in strong like, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Boosted up my cardio, I used to get to run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear down and out. Everybody wanna kill the king, or you shit wanna take the crown. I can see through it like a stomach.
You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. Yeah, I jump out the booth. Then I might hop through the roof. Got on the rings. My team is the truth. But they some liars to you. And they never sing, huh? But they always shoot. And all of their diamonds are new. And that's why I'm here with villain. Cause I really get it. And I need all my honeys in blue. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose.
It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And up next, we'll see Drake London. He comes in second in the NFL in touchdown receptions. It's the Falcons and the Panthers, and it's coming up next on EA Sports.
Well, it is just the perfect time of year for a trip to the Carolinas, and that's where we find ourselves at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Falcons in this matchup. Their offense is a unit that's not afraid to take chances out there, but not always for the better. What do you see them trying to do here?
I think they'll continue to take those chances, Brandon, but to me, they have to do it in a measured way. And what I mean by that, they can't just come into a game and throw caution to the wind and just say we're going to run a bunch of gadget plays, a lot of reverses, end arounds, all of those things. They've got to identify the spots where they want those plays to pay off, which means you have to set them up, and then when they present themselves, take full advantage.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
I guess we have to nickname him the thrower, aren't we, or something like that.
After last week?
I mean, man, you're talking about over 400 yards throwing the ball. The running backs and everyone else may be looking at him like, hey, don't forget us. And he'd probably just tell him, listen, you want to get involved?
Go out.
Go out and catch some passes. I'll make sure you touch it.
Throwing to start the drive. Gordon over the middle here to Brown. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Well, this defense for the Falcons, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Great first drive defensively. 3rd and short, able to stuff the run.
And what it does is it gives not just confidence to your defensive players, it gives an overall feeling of, okay, we've established things here early. We can carry this throughout the game.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. On the return is Jones. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. They'll have a former Heisman Trophy winner calling the shots, hailing from the island of Oahu in Hawaii, Marcus Mariota.
And he just continues to throw touchdown pass after touchdown pass. Say that the numbers and rankings, they don't matter to him very much, but I don't know how much I actually believe that. Sure, he's team first, but I think everyone would like to see him finish number.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Falcons. Drake London, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Falcons are on the board first here this afternoon. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
To throw on second down. Gordon. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Nick Needham picks it off. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And as we count down through the final few weeks of the season, these guys have nothing to sweat about. They've clinched the top spots of the...
We've clinched. We're ready to go. But there's another part where you say, let's show the league why we're the #1 team. Maybe you intimidate someone. Maybe you dissuade them from thinking that they can beat you in the playoffs by going out being really impressive down the stretch.
Yep. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, we know he can run the ball. There he shows he has the ability to do a little bit more.
That's what you call a complete player. A guy who can run it, catch it, probably can protect the passer when necessary, but his skills are best used when you get the ball in his hands.
And that's the thing. When you've got an athlete like that, you want to get the ball to him in multiple ways, right?
Without a doubt, because he often creates mismatches about who can cover him, whether he's coming out of the backfield or even lining up like a receiver.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
Ready.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. To throw again. Gordon. Incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he is going to have the Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Let's go.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun, Gordon. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. Jones on the return. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And it will be Falcon football. Atlanta now coming out on the field.
It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
It almost pushed them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them. So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And Charles, you think about this offense, it's kind of a tricky time of the season because you're 14-0, looking to see this one out to the end, but you start to run into situations where guys are getting a little banged up. Maybe could use some time sharing, some time on the bench, just to rest. How do you approach the rest of this regular season?
Touchdown, Falcons! A big play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Falcons have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the Falcons score to cap it off.
So how about... Start 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Now the offense for the Panthers here getting the football back. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Gordon. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand and guarantee it's incomplete.
And he is going to have a Panthers first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down. McCaffrey on the counter. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. 21-0 our score after 1. Operating from the gun. Gordon. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Devon Hamilton breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Ready?
Looking to throw. Gordon trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Nick Needham picks it off. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
Well, no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick 6.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
Coup for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there.
Well, with 3 weeks left, they are in one of those 3 wild card spots, Charles, but that spot is not clinched, and there's not a ton of breathing room for them, so the bottom line, they just need to focus on winning right now.
Yeah, they totally have their eyes open, don't they? They know they've got teams trying to run them down. They can hear their footsteps. The question coaches ask guys in the locker room, do you have another gear left to pull away and lock in that playoff spot? If so, let's hit it.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Gordon looking left side. That's caught by Moore. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no gain, his guys will take that.
And speaking of winning, to be as cheesy as we can, he was the winner of the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award from last week, so he's really stringing together some good football.
So not only did he get a gold star, he might have gotten a gold watch too, huh?
Here's Jones on the return. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Falcons. An impressive punt return of 76 yards. And the Falcons are able to add on to their first half lead.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Coup now for the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff.
Take it in at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
And onto the field, here come the Panthers.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Well, these two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Back to throw. Gordon. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. To throw on 2nd down, Gordon. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Now you got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Gordon. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
They'll look to throw again. And that will be incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10.
The Falcons back out, getting set for this next drive.
It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Finding room at midfield.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field.
But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. To throw, Mariota. Got this complete to the tight end Pitts. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Mariota now to throw on 1st down. Over the middle, caught by London. And he's brought down, but he has it down to the 12 on a pickup of 12. 1st and 10.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Mariota again. That ball is caught. It's London for the Atlanta touchdown. A great play there as the first half is winding down. And the Falcons will extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and the route is on here this first half. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was finished off by a touchdown catch from Drake London. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Looking to throw. Gordon. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Kind of surprised they accept the penalty.
The only thing that comes to mind for me is they want to move them back 5 yards because they feel good about their defense. But in most situations, you take the down. That's what counts more.
So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll get started over at the Caesar Superdome in New Orleans. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Jameis Winston, strong in the victory as it pushes his guys back above the 500 mark on the year. From there, we head up to Kansas City to check on the Chiefs at Arrowhead. And they trail the visiting Denver Broncos in that one. Tim Patrick, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And that game all tied up as they host the visiting Giants. Next, a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Falcons. And it's been the passing game that's been the story. They have feasted on this secondary to the tune of 200-plus yards already through 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, they were on the other end of the spectrum in terms of passing efficiency. That's going to need to improve in the second half to come. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in this second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. Takes it at the 7. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And a nifty return there all the way across the 40. Time to get another look at Drake London and the Falcons offense.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. To throw again on second down, Mariota. And that's caught. It's Bryan Edwards. Touchdown, Falcons. Bryan Edwards, 59 yards. And the Falcons have got it on cruise control.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats. But what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click. And right I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half.
Come on, set.
On 1st and 10, Gordon got his man complete over the middle. That's Brown. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. On second down, McCaffrey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Gordon. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Here's Jones. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
Well, they got to be thrilled with how they've operated so far in this one. They've got the nice lead. And now a chance to score here on 3 straight possessions.
Yeah, and the way that they are rolling, I just don't know how they get slowed down, because they certainly are operating at peak efficiency right now. They might want to think about giving some of their backups a little bit of work, though. Let some other guys get on the field and do their thing and save some of this for the next time out.
It's a big play there for Atlanta. 43 yards.
Well, like so many wide receivers, he is a threat with the ball in his hands, and he's able to do his damage here after the catch.
Yeah, and he's had a heck of a game so far, up over 100 yards receiving already. And it's not all been air yards, as we saw right there. Play after the catch.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the catch on the next-gen stats.
Mariota. He's got it. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal. Now Mariota.
Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Hunt. And Hunt is not going to get there. Defensively, they rally the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
Well, we got beefeaters licking their chops, and he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off, as he did so with a touchdown run.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
The Panthers now set to take over offensively. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. To throw on 3rd down, Gordon. And that is incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away.
A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And they will take over first. First and 10 now for the Falcons, and Mariota
on their side of midfield at the 47. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And some space here. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking. That'd be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game. That game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number let's say 200 plus.
2nd and 10 now, 3rd quarter from Charlotte. Mariota. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
He came through well with a nice pass breakup there. Fortunate that he was on the spot. He's the only guy left to prevent the first down.
On 3rd down, Mariota. And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. Fourth down, Mariota. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Falcons go. Doesn't work out. And the Panthers will get the football back. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
The possession of the football goes over to Carolina. Well, the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They've got 2nd and 12 from the 36. Looking to throw. Gordon. Caught. It's Wilson. The offense on 3rd down, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Back to throw. Gordon, left side here. That's the tight end Fant. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball, because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Carolina. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Atlanta now coming out on the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down.
Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we
both
enjoy.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. They'll run again with Hunt. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 59 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want...
And he is into... And the touchdown record is now all his. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Carolina offense about ready to go. And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10.
Set, ready.
Throwing to start the drive. Gordon. And he's got the hook up to Moore. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it's 2nd down. Looking to throw. Gordon. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it. But he is able to keep the feet in bounds. So the completion gets him just a yard. And now it's 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
This is taken at the 23. And he's going to be pushed out of bounds. 10-yard line. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense, they've got it set up on the silver platter. 1st and goal inside the 10. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And they can run this score up even further as they begin this drive with a 1st and goal and that huge lead. So now just like that, things change dramatically. It's 1st and goal. Hunt will try going up the middle. And he's going to press this one forward as they around the 1. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 2nd and goal, here's an option play left. And they are going to score. And yet another touchdown as they just... Totals.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another.
And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Koo able to connect on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This will be fielded inside the 5. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Carolina getting set to take the field. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. With silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Ready.
So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Looking to throw on second down. Gordon. His throw incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And here now come the Falcons. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you... So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Throwing here, Mariota being chased out left. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had it and dropped it. That is an unforced error there, and it takes away what could have been a touchdown. To throw is Mariota. Steps away to his left. And that will be incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Panthers will get the football back. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the fourth, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed
it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. Shaken up on that last play. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Gordon. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, the incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Here's Johnny Hecker now as he's on to punt for Carolina. On the return is Jones. Shreds him with a stiff arm. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Handoff up the middle. Hunt. Always got some breathing room. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 167 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed asleep. So for Atlanta, they are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they run their mark to 15-0 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints.
Say a lot, but I'm not. Gotta keep it down, making sure nobody drown. I'm my brother, keep it now. I might Jack hit me up and said I gotta beat it down. Turn me up when I'm on your speaker now, cool. Tear it down, tear it down.